The Lindbergh kidnapping, often dubbed the crime of the century, was one of the most sensational and tragic events in American history. It involved the abduction and murder of Charles A. Lindbergh, Jr., the infant son of celebrated aviator Charles Lindbergh and Anne Morrow Lindbergh. The abduction, March 1st, 1932. On the evening of March 1st, 1932, 20-month-old Charles Jr. was kidnapped from his second-story nursery in the Lindbergh family's secluded new home near Hopewell, New Jersey. The child's nurse, Betty Gow, discovered the empty crib around 10 p.m. A ransom note demanding $50,000 was found on the windowsill. Outside, investigators found muddy footprints and a crudely constructed three-piece wooden ladder propped against the house, which appeared to have broken during the kidnapper's descent. A chisel was also found nearby. The investigation and ransom attempts. News of the kidnapping immediately became a national sensation, drawing intense media attention and swarms of curious onlookers to the crime scene, potentially compromising evidence. Charles Lindbergh, a national hero for his solo transatlantic flight, took a prominent role in the investigation. Over the following weeks, more ransom notes arrived, increasing the demand to $70,000. Many individuals, including organized crime figures like Al Capone, offered help, but most leads proved false. A retired Bronx school principal, John F. Condon, offered to act as an intermediary, placing an advertisement in a newspaper. The kidnapper, who Condon referred to as John, agreed to communicate with him. Through a series of complex and often confusing exchanges, Condon negotiated with John as proof of life. Condon received the baby's sleeping suit. On April 2nd, 1932, Condon, with Lindbergh waiting nearby, met John at St. Raymond's Cemetery in the Bronx. Condon paid $50,000 in marked gold certificates. The serial numbers had been recorded by the Treasury Department. In return, John provided a note stating the child could be found on a boat called the Nellie near Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. A thorough search of the area yielded nothing. Discovery of the body, May 12, 1932. The search for young Charles continued for weeks. Tragically, on May 12, 1932, the badly decomposed body of a toddler was accidentally discovered by a truck driver less than 5 miles from the Lindbergh home in Hopewell. Charles Lindbergh positively identified the remains as his son. An autopsy revealed that the baby had died from a massive blow to the head likely inflicted during or shortly after the kidnapping. The discovery shifted the case from a kidnapping to a murder investigation. The manhunt and arrest of Bruno Hauptmann. With the discovery of the body, the U.S. Bureau of Investigation, BOI, later the FBI, became more directly involved, with President Herbert Hoover offering federal assistance. The Lindbergh Law was passed on June 22, 1932, making kidnapping a federal offense and giving federal authorities broader jurisdiction. For over 2 years, the case remained cold, despite a massive manhunt. The breakthrough came in September 1934, when some of the marked gold certificates from the ransom money began to surface. An alert gas station attendant in New York City became suspicious when a man paid with a $10 gold certificate and noted his license plate number. This led authorities to Bruno Richard Hauptmann, a German immigrant and carpenter living in the Bronx. On September 19, 1934, Hauptmann was arrested. A $20 gold certificate from the ransom was found on his person, and a search of his garage uncovered more than $13,000 of the ransom money hidden in a gas can. John Condon positively identified Hauptmann as John. The trial of the century, January to February 1935. Hauptmann's trial began on January 2, 1935 in Flemington, New Jersey, and quickly became a media circus. The prosecution presented a largely circumstantial case against Hauptmann. Ransom money. The significant amount of ransom money found in his garage. Handwriting analysis. Experts testified that Hauptmann's handwriting and spelling matched those on the ransom notes. Ladder evidence. A wood expert meticulously analyzed the lumber used to construct the kidnap ladder, testifying that pieces of it matched wood missing from Hauptmann's attic floorboards, and tool marks on the ladder matched Hauptmann's tools. Condon's identification. John Condon identified Hauptmann as the man he met in the cemetery. Circumstantial evidence. Condon's telephone number was found scrawled on a closet doorframe in Hauptmann's home. Hauptmann maintained his innocence, claiming he was holding the money for a friend, Isidor Fisch, who had since returned to Germany and died. He also alleged police beatings and coercion in producing handwriting samples. Despite his denials and his attorney's arguments that the evidence was entirely circumstantial and lacked fingerprints, the overwhelming public pressure and the presented evidence led the jury to find Hauptmann guilty of first-degree murder on February 13, 1935. He was sentenced to death. Aftermath and execution. Hauptmann's appeals were unsuccessful, reaching the U.S. Supreme Court, which refused to hear the case. Despite a clemency bid to the New Jersey governor, he was denied. Bruno Richard Hauptmann was executed by electric chair on April 3, 1936, at the New Jersey State Prison in Trenton, still proclaiming his innocence. The Lindbergh kidnapping had a profound impact on American society. It led to the passage of the Federal Kidnapping Act, the Lindbergh Law,